my god, long time no talk. Since the last time that I uploaded, I was on a bulk for like 2 months. I was able to gain 10 pounds. Not too much fat. You can see by my face. I can see it in my face, other people can't, but it is what it is. But right now it is the day before my cut, January 1st. I'm gonna go grocery shopping, calories, macros, everything staying the same, and we're just adding a little bit of cardio to see how my body reacts. Okay, so I made my breakfast, lunch, whatever you want to call it. Here we have some French toast. I made it with egg whites just so it can be higher in protein. We have egg whites here with curry and some veggies. That's about it. And then I'm gonna have my ice cream. And here's a small clip of my updated physique. Look at that leg and glute growth. Good morning. Today is Monday, January 2nd. It's technically like the first day of my cut. Adding cardio into my routine, and we're only doing 20 minutes of steady state cardio. This was my first day doing fasted cardio. I get up at 5:30 in the morning to do my cardio, and then I go to work, and I'm at work for 12 hours running on my feet. Then I go to the gym after that for another 2 hours. I thought my coach was going to change my calories, but she ended up putting me at a 300 calorie deficit the next day. But this is me post cardio, and then I get ready for work, and I also did my progress pictures. And then here's me stretching after my cardio the next day. But basically what I was saying during this long rant was that don't compare yourself to these influencers. Don't compare yourself to your favorite athletes, because that is their job. That's your job to train for whatever sport that they're doing. Like me, I have a 12-hour shift job on the side, and I do training on the side, so it's a lot to do and still trying to prep for a show. But I also do know that there's other people that are doing other things, like going to school and having 2 jobs and being a mom, just like so many things on their plates. But again, that's why I say don't compare your journey to these influencers or these other athletes, because that is part of their job, and so they already have to do that, and you have other things on your plate while you're trying to do this fitness thing. Also, I was in a little bit of pain because I wasn't foam rolling my lats, and honestly that pain went up to my neck. And so here's me reminding you to make sure you stretch, because again, these bodybuilders, they have people that are professionals where they can massage them, so they don't have to worry too much about post stretching after their workouts. But you do, because you might not have that professional, you might not have the funds to do that. So do what you can by trying to save money and stretch so you don't get hurt. Here's me getting ready for the day. If you haven't used Grande eyelash serum, this is your sign to get it. Hello, my name is Abril. I am a natural wellness athlete. This is my very first time preparing for a show, so I am new to this. Wanted to create this YouTube to kind of have you guys follow along, and also it's really cool to look back at my own experience, see the progress that I have made. It's been 1 week since I have started my cut. I didn't record a lot during my bulk. I got so busy, and I'm new to YouTube, so I'm not used to recording, but that's just something that I'm gonna have to get used to. So I decided to ask my followers on Instagram some questions that they have about bulking. So question number 1 is hacks on how to bulk. When you bulk, honestly, you don't have to change your diet. You don't have to go all dirty bulking. Simple hacks is just switching things. So instead of having chicken during your bulk, maybe have ground beef. You just have to make substitutes. So for me, example, I have almond milk cutting, but when I'm bulking, I usually have the almond cashew milk because it's way more calories. Try to reduce the volume. Try to find things that are higher in calories. If you still get really hungry during your bulk, then you probably want to have high volume foods. But me personally, During my bulk, it's the hardest time because I struggle to eat enough. So I rather have things that are higher in calories, high in protein, and not as much volume. Also, another hack is start off early. Something that I struggled during my bulk is that I didn't plan my meals. I would wake up, go to work, not have breakfast, and it's lunchtime and I'm having my first meal. And mind you, I have to eat like 190 grams of protein and space it throughout the day. Starting off my day with nothing and starting to eat at 11 a.m. being at work, trying to meet my goals is really hard. And that's my own fault for not preparing. But make sure you don't skip breakfast, spread out your meals, depending on what your goals are, but slow and steady doing the race. Instead of starting at a huge surplus, I would gradually add in your calories. That way your body can get used to it. When you just try to bulk 500 or more calories, it's really hard to, one, fit that in your routine, and two, sometimes you're not hungry. Second question, how do I know if I should do a bulk? Personally, looking at it health-wise, I would not do a bulk if you are above 25% body fat, because technically that is considered overweight and obese. What I would say is that if you are around there like 24 or 25%, like I would not do a bulk, but you can go a little bit over, that's fine. If you are really, really lean, you definitely should add some calories to your diet. I would do a bulk if you are trying to maximize the amount of muscle that you're trying to gain, maximize your strength. If you are okay with being uncomfortable with a little bit of fluff, that's how you know that you should do a bulk. How do you bulk? Common mistakes that I see being made is not tracking your bulk. People are just like, oh, I'm just gonna eat more, or they just use it as an excuse to eat whatever, even if it's not, like, your body doesn't even need that, like they're just eating for pleasure at that point. So what I would do is set a calorie goal and make sure you're meeting your protein. Make sure you are eating whole foods. Obviously, a bulk, you have a bigger amount of calories. Since you're at a surplus, you have more options with food. But it also backfires on you if you're dirty bulking. So the reason it backfires on you is because of your gut. Yes, you have that wiggle room to, eat more calories and stuff, but when you dirty bulk and you're not eating whole foods and you're just eating like a lot of processed foods and a lot of like just protein already like made, like shakes and stuff, and you're not including whole foods, it's hard on your gut. I would recommend is trying your best to eat whole foods. I know it's hard when you're eating so much. You will feel better. That's what I noticed like during my bulk, is that when I would eat a lot of processed foods just to like meet my calories, I didn't feel that great and my appetite was like not there. I actually like make homemade meals, like whole foods, getting my protein mostly from like actual food. Like I just felt better. My digestive system was way better. Don't go the dirty route. You can if you want to, but just health-wise, you're not gonna feel so great. How are you training for in hills? Can we see? I honestly don't know what this means, or they're saying what are you training for? And well, what I'm training for is I'm training for a bodybuilding show. General tips, how do you get in calories in those nights that's late and you have a bunch left? Honestly, this is probably like not the best advice. You just have to eat it. Like there's no cheat code, there's no shortcut. You have to do the work. There's no other way to do it. So mass gainers usually are like, you can find some from like 600 to like 1500. I think the one I have is like 1200. What is the purpose of bulking? Probably are bulking because you're underweight or you want to gain weight. So the purpose is to build the max amount of muscle or gain some weight, gain some body fat. But the bulk should not be your final physique unless you were like extremely underweight. Then sure, go ahead and bulk and that can be your final physique. But if you struggle with like body dysmorphia and just like gaining weight in general, just remind yourself that this bulk is not your final physique. This bulk is to mold your body. When you cut, you show off all the work you did. Some people take their bulk a little too far, in my opinion. Like I said, if you are like above 25% body fat, then you probably should stop bulking. But obviously, like there's like some people are like a little bit past that, which is fine. Like my last bulk, I got up to like 29% body fat, almost 30% body fat. The bulk is that you're going to gain body fat, you're going to gain muscle, but you do have to put in the work when you're working out. When you're working out, you have to lift heavy, you have to like push yourself, basically train a failure. You can't spot reduce body fat where you can't pick a place where you're like, well, I'm just gonna lose body fat in my stomach. That's the same way with the bulk. You cannot choose a spot where you want to gain weight. You can only choose a spot where you want to build muscle. If you genetically gain weight in your stomach, then that's gonna happen during your bulk, and you have to mentally prepare yourself that you are going to gain weight in your stomach. I gain weight a lot on my sides, but not like my front pouch of my stomach, but on the side. So if you were to like look at me during my bulk on the side view, my stomach looks flat. But if you look at me from the front view, my torso, my waist is wider. People gain weight differently, and again, you can't choose where you want to gain that weight, but the whole point of the bulk is to build muscles. Let's say I want to get that hourglass figure. My priority is going to build that upper body, build as much lower body, much glutes as I can, and then when my cut happens, I'm gonna lose that body fat. My body fat goes right here. So as soon as I lose that body fat, my waist is gonna look a lot smaller because I was able to add more size to different areas. The ratios look different. So my lower body's gonna be bigger, my waist is gonna be smaller, upper body's gonna be bigger. And that's why I say that the bulk is not your final destination. You do have to trust the process. And sometimes when you are not too big of a surplus, it ends up like leveling out. You gain that weight, but then as more time goes by and the stronger you get and the more you push yourself in the gym, eventually you start to gain more muscle and you lose a little bit of body fat. That is the purpose of a bulk. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will be posting more. Follow me on Instagram and wish me luck on my body.